Know that whatever your end goal is, you will get there, but it starts with you believing in yourself.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa.
Hi guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a video that, to be honest with you, I have been putting off for a very long time. So in short, when I first made my channel again in 2019, one of my first videos back, or actually my first video back on YouTube, was me discussing my PCOS story time. Before I get any further into the video, I do want to just make the classic and well-known disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, I'm not certified in anything that I'm talking about. I'm just sharing my experience with you and how I did certain things. I am fully aware that everyone's body type is different, so just keep that in mind and remember that I'm not a doctor and I'm not certified and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just simply saying my story. So now that that disclaimer has been made, I am going to be talking about how I lost 60 pounds in 5 months. Now, a lot of people may say that that is not healthy, and normally I would agree with you, but the way I did it was very healthy. I literally just found ways that work for me, and I want to share it with you. If you guys remember in the beginning of this video, I did mention how I've been putting off making this video for a really long time, and that is simply because I still struggle with the thought that I'm going to gain weight. First of all of you should know that you do not need to lose weight. You are beautiful just the way you are, but I do also understand if you are someone who is looking to lose weight. So if you want to hear a more in-depth story about my PCOS and everything, I'm gonna have that video up here on the screen. This side, it's this side, I remember. I always tell myself to the left of you. I'm gonna have the video up here on the screen, and you guys can go check that video out as well because I go into so much depth about it. But in short, I do have PCOS and I struggle with it to this day. Sometimes I will get on the scale and notice that I gained a couple pounds, as in like 2 to 4 pounds, and then other days I'll get on the scale and notice that I lost 5 pounds. So it kind of varies with my body, but ultimately I found a way to stay within the 2 to 5 pound weight gain and weight loss, and the number usually doesn't change that much, so I'm happy with it. I'm still working to get tone and more lean, but I'm happy with the number on the scale now. However, even though I say I'm happy with the number on the scale, I do want to say that you shouldn't always go off of the number on the scale, just because muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're working out and you're happy with how you look on the outside, then you shouldn't really care about what the number says, because as long as you're happy with how you look on the outside, that's all that really matters. And you also have to remember that muscle weighs more, so it could just be muscle in your body. Can't guarantee that it is, but there's a good chance that if you're working out and you're eating right, that it's probably muscle that you gained and not actual fat. And yeah, so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing I'm going to kind of like discuss is how I actually did it. At my very highest point of weight in my life, I was around 180-ish pounds. This was my ultimate high. I looked in the mirror, I couldn't smile, I cried myself to sleep every single night, if I'm gonna be very transparent with you. I had stretch marks in a lot of places, and I literally would only wear baggy clothes because I was so ashamed of my body and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know I had PCOS at the time. I was just losing myself left and right, and I couldn't find a way out. I was working out, I was eating right, I was doing everything that I can think of and that doctors were telling me to do, and I would not lose weight. I would actually go to bed and the next day I would wake up and I would gain a pound more or 3 pounds more, and it was devastating because my body image is so important to me and I couldn't find a way out to start losing weight. So because I couldn't find a way to lose weight, I just completely lost myself. And like I said, this was my all-time high. All throughout high school, which is something I also wanted to mention, I was around like 115 pounds to 125. I literally loved my body and I was just so happy with how it looked. It wasn't even about the number. I like never weighed myself on the scale. I was just so content with how my body looked because I did struggle with weight a lot of my life. So when I finally looked in the mirror and was able to like truthfully smile and wear whatever I wanted to wear, I was just happy. So then obviously I went to college and I did gain like the freshman 15 from eating like crazy and stuff like that. So I don't want to say that it wasn't all not my fault, because some of it certainly was my fault. It's just I don't believe that like 60 pounds was my fault. Probably like 10 to 15 of those pounds were my fault because of the freshman 15, eating more, stressing more, binge eating. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but definitely not 60 pounds worth of weight. So I let this go on for around like a year because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. I went from not eating a lot to eating a lot because I was so stressed and I couldn't figure out what was wrong that I just started binge eating. I know I shouldn't have been binge eating, but I just started binge eating because nothing was working, and I was at the point where I was like, okay, well, nothing's working anyway, so why am I even trying? Like, maybe I should just eat everything in sight and then I'll just magically lose weight. Obviously, that is not how you do it. There was something wrong with how I was thinking because I was so not motivated and I didn't know what to do next. So because of that, I obviously gained more weight, which is why I said that like 15 of those pounds were probably my fault. Then if you watch my other video, you guys would know that I was diagnosed with PCOS, and my doctor basically told me to just do a lot of cardio, work out all the time, try to eat whole wheat stuff instead of white stuff, and see if it works. So I started this part of my weight loss journey in, I think it was August, and I didn't expect to see the change that I saw within 5 months. I am shocked to this day by what I was able to do, and it's because I went about like a year and a half without being able to lose a pound. And then from August to September, I saw such a big difference. I was just in shock. So obviously something was working, so I continued to do what I was doing. How I did this, I'm gonna talk about food in a different video just because I don't want this video to be too long, but I started going to Orangetheory. When I walked into Orangetheory, it was just something that felt so heartwarming and so welcoming. When I go into like LA Fitness or Crunch or any of those gyms, I feel judged. I feel like everyone is staring at you when you're working out. I feel like no one actually like welcomes you. And I don't mean welcome like, hi, how are you doing? I mean like just welcome you to actually feel comfortable in the place that you're working out at. And obviously you're not gonna work out to your full potential if you don't feel comfortable. The minute I walked into Orangetheory, I just felt so like at home, I wanna say. So I joined, and again, I went in with the expectation of seeing no results. I'm getting emotional. However, I saw results, and obviously in the beginning when you go in with the expectation of, oh, I'm not gonna see results, or oh, I'm probably not gonna lose weight, but let's just give this a try, it's obviously not very motivating. And then when you see yourself not losing weight, it's probably still not something that's gonna wanna keep you going. But I just kept going, and within a month, I started to see such a big difference. Maybe not like weight number wise, but just how I felt, how I was going about my day, how my mind was thinking, how I was able to go from power walking to running within a month, how I was able to push myself to limits that I would have never pushed myself without going there. So that's where my weight loss started to happen. On top of going to Orangetheory, I also went to LA Fitness and I trained with a personal trainer. He was so helpful throughout all of this. And I think doing two things, such as going to Orangetheory and doing high intensity workouts there, and then just weight training with my personal trainer, really like kick-started my weight loss. And I was able to lose the 60 pounds in 5 months. And it was the best feeling in the world when I was able to put on a skirt again and not see stretch marks and not see all these scars on my legs that I didn't want to see. And if you're someone who struggles with all this, just know that nothing about stretch marks or scars or anything is gross. It's just when I saw it on my body, it was just making me really sad. And everyone is beautiful in their own way. Despite any scar or stretch mark or anything that you may have in your body, you're still beautiful. It's just the way I was thinking in that time for my personal self and how I look. I really just wouldn't allow myself to wear anything because I had cellulite, I had stretch marks, I had scars, and I'm not gonna lie to you, not all of it went away. Some of it went away, and a lot of it looks 100% better to the point where you can't even see it. It is still there, but you can't see it to the extent that you could back then. And I know that it will go away with more time, thankfully, because they were newer and I caught it when I was still young. They did go away, but when I was able to put on a bathing suit and actually feel comfortable in what I was wearing again, it just made me so happy. And to this day, throughout all of quarantine, I thought I was gonna lose everything that I worked so hard for, but I was so determined that I didn't let myself lose it. I just kept going. You know, since Orangetheory is closed due to the circumstances, I was freaking out because I was like, all right, well, Orangetheory was the reason why I was able to lose all this weight. Now I'm gonna gain it all back because I don't have a gym. Thankfully, I made it work. I did not gain the weight back, and I am really proud of my progress. I'm obviously not to the point where I want to be, even though the number on the scale is fine. I want to be able to be more toned and have like lean muscle, so I'm gonna keep going. I don't think I'll ever stop working out just because it became like a passion to me. But I am so happy, and I made this video mainly to tell you guys that you can do it. If you're someone who wants to lose weight or gain weight or just be more toned, you can do it if you set your mind to it. And I wish I knew that a couple years ago when I needed to hear this, because I lost myself and I don't want that to happen to you. And if you are someone who is going through that right now, just know that the only way out is to tell yourself that you can do it, and that the only way you can do it is by believing in yourself. If you go into something, ironically, like I did, and tell yourself that you're not gonna lose weight, or you're not gonna gain weight, or you're not going to be able to get lean muscle or heavy muscle, whatever you may want, it's going to be such a toll on your mental health. And even though you still might be able to do it, it's just not going to be motivating. You're gonna be the first person who's doubting yourself. When I tell you guys, so many people doubted that I would be able to lose weight. So many people doubted it, and I was one of them. I was one of the people that was doubting myself. There's only like 4 people I can actually say actually believed in me from the start that I would be able to lose weight and to look like I used to look and be happy again with how I looked. And it was hard knowing that, but I just kept going. I kind of like used it as a way to say, like, I need to prove these people wrong. I know I can do it, even though in my head I'm telling myself that I can't do it. I know I can do it. I know that nothing is going to stop me until I reach my goal, to prove to these people that I can do it. And that's what I want you guys to do. So if you're someone that is in my situation, that has PCOS, that has a disease that has weight gain as a symptom, that is on birth control that made you gain weight, or someone who can't gain weight, whatever the circumstance may be, know that whatever your end goal is, you will get there, but it starts with you believing in yourself. And I know that that may be hard to imagine, because throughout this video you may have thought that I was going to tell you there's a secret medicine you can take, there's a secret way to actually losing weight, but there is none. You can do all of these surgeries, take all this medicine, it is not going to work. The best and most effective way for you to lose weight, or whatever you may be trying to do, in my case, lose weight, is to do it yourself, and is to believe in yourself. It starts with you, and as soon as you realize that you have to believe in yourself in order to get to your goals, that's where the game changes. And I promise you guys, once you get your mind to make the switch, you will get there. Like, I can't tell you enough how much you will get there. Again, I'm going to have the video up here, this side, up here on the screen. Please go check that out, because that video was so hard for me to make. I made it to try to inspire others and to let people know that you're not alone. Again, you are not alone. Remember that. That's about it for this video. If you guys liked it, please remember to give it a huge thumbs up. It really does help me out, and subscribe to my channel if you want. That also helps me out, and I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys again so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona